You think through counseling some of the marriages could be preserved?
So if you come to the family court, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಜಾಗ ಇರಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದಾ?
ನನಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ even among divorced couples, I tell them that the last thing you should fight about is the child. There are going to be obstacles in life. Like I said, when I went through my strokes and my vision loss, for a long time I thought it was the end of me. But then I brought myself out of it. I started working again. I started meeting clients. I started going back to my profession. And then cancer struck.
Cancer is a disease which is increasing for various reasons. Potentially we feel you will be cured.
I just felt that it's going to be all right. Nothing to be scared of. A small biopsy madidru. Then I was praying it is benign, but unfortunately it came out as malignant, which was a shock.
So what were your feelings?
It is a battle, definitely. It's not something to belittle or minimize.
How you're doing now? Hello everyone. Ellargu namaskara.
Namaskara.
Today we are having a very interesting session with Hemalatha. She is actually has a interesting history. She is a lawyer, specializes in matrimonial issues and also a women's right advocate. But there are two facets here what we are going to discuss. One is about her recent diagnosis of cancer and what has been her thinking about it, how she approached it. And then we will talk about later, as some people wrongly use the word other cancer of the society, what are the ills of society, particularly in relationship with women. Welcome Hemalatha to this.
Thank you. Namaskara doctor.
Namaskara.
Tumba santosha ನೀವು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕರೆದಿದ್ದೀರಾ. I am deeply honored and
ಇವಾಗ let us hear about little bit about yourself and then maybe about the cancer, how it was diagnosed and what has been your take on it. Yes. And ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೀವು how did you take it? Because cancer ಅಂದರೆ ಜನ ಭಯ ಪಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Definitely.
They get fear, and I always say fear is our worst enemy. So what were your feelings and how you're doing now? ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿ.
Doctor, I went for a normal checkup in the month of September, I think. ಅವತ್ತು ನನಗೆ I was having some back pain. So my doctor advised me to get a complete, because I had undergone strokes and vision loss.
ಹೌದಾ?
ಹೌದು, I had undergone 3 strokes.
Okay.
Then I suffered vision loss. I lost vision in my right eye due to a blood clot which entered and damaged the retina. So I have battled all that and I was kind of feeling okay. Then back pain tumba ittu. So I was advised to undergo a complete body check. So now I went to Nikhil, my son, organized this testing for me. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದೆ excepting mammogram. So I was waiting for my second blood test to be done. Then I saw the board mammogram. Then I thought, why not get it done? Anyway, to cut a long story short, I got the test done.
routine test ನಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು.
Routine test. I went, I said, okay, let me do a mammogram and be done with it. So when they did the mammogram, they found the tumor.
But you did not feel anything.
I didn't feel anything. I didn't even know it was there.
One important message ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ people hesitate to go for checkups.
For checkups.
So one of the message we really want to send here is how important it is to go for checkup.
It is very important. Even if it is a nuisance, even if you feel that okay, let me push it and postpone it. If I had postponed it that day and not got it done, well,
because you were detected in early stage.
Early stage. Ali small tumor ittu. Of course it was a shock. Moment they said alle they did some test.
Biopsy.
Small biopsy madidru. Then I was praying it is benign, but unfortunately it came out as malignant, which was a shock. Definitely when the C word itself is scary. And I did go into a lot of shock after that. But then I came to you, to your hospital. Correct. And here my children brought me here. Then I underwent all the tests. And I don't know, I think from the time I met you and Dr. Kritika and Dr. Lohit and Dr. Bharat and all, I just felt that it's going to be all right. Nothing to be scared of. Because I think medicine and technology has advanced so much today that even the worst case scenario can be dealt with and treated. So I just started feeling more positive, that's all. Then, of course, as you know, I underwent the surgery and the
No, I
radiation.
think your positive attitude helped me a lot. Knowing you and after talking to you itself, I could make out. ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈ 50 years of oncology,
Yes, doctor.
I have come across a lot of patients. ಈ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇ ದ ಫಿಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್. A lot of them actually say give up or they become negative.
ಹೌದು.
ಅವರು ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ದೇ ಕೀಪ್ ಬ್ರೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್. ದ ಸ್ಯಾಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ದಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅದು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬ್ರೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ
ಮೂವ್ ಆನ್ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲೈಫ್.
This is what I do. I said, okay, this was a little glitch in my life, like the other glitches. So this is one more, and I have to. And then, doctor, I am a soldier's daughter. My father was in the army, so I have got a spine from him, I think, which refuses to go down to these things. It is a battle, definitely. It's not something to belittle or minimize. Whoever is undergoing cancer will have that scare, but I think the faith and trust in doctors is firstly very, very important. You have to know that your doctor is doing the right thing by you and follow their advice.
Our trust is important.
Yes, you have to follow their advice implicitly because you don't know what is good for you in this circumstance, because you're not an expert on this. So I implicitly followed your advice, did whatever was told by you, and I think I'm fine now. I'm not.
No, I think potentially we feel you will be cured because of the stage you came in and all. But one of the most important thing is, like I always say, it is a team effort. Apart from doctors, the patient and the family are also part of the team.
Definitely.
ಆ ಟೀಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್.
Doctor, I want to, before I forget, I want to specifically mention my sincere, heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Kritika, Dr. Lohit, Dr. Bharat, you of course, Chaitra, Kanchana, Nagraj, they were all there, more than a family they were there, and they were by my side continuously to make sure that I was.
Yeah, one of the things in HCG culture, what we have brought in, you have experienced is, when you see a patient, even yesterday in my tumor board I was saying, oh nobody, can this person be my sister? Shall I treat them like my sister? See, we have to do that, whether it is the doctor, nurses or any paramedical staff.
True.
ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಡೀಪ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್. ಟುಡೇ ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಟು ಸೇ HCG ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಹೈ. ಇನ್ ಬ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್, primarily because of that kind of wholesome approach.
Yes.
Totally, what is the right thing to do for? When do we do drugs? When do we give surgery? When do we do radiation? Idrinda, what is the outcome? And we look at even genomics. Total
which you did with me also.
Which we did. Mutation idya, ಏನಿದೆಯಾ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ರಿಸೆಪ್ಟಾರ್ ಹೇಗಿದೆ,
and whether the family is prone to get it.
ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, ಬ್ರಾಕಾ ಅಂತ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ we look at all that to come to a decision and say this is the right approach. So we take time. I think the multidisciplinary clinic approach, taking time matters a lot. And you are an outstanding.
The fact that
no, honestly you are.
No, and the fact that you explain it to us, which restores our confidence in what you're doing with us. You know, we know what we're going to go through, what is the procedure and what is the final effect of that procedure. So we know, since we know what is happening, the confidence is restored, and we leave ourselves in your hands to do whatever.
Unfortunately, as we said, cancer is a disease which is increasing for various reasons: pollution,
contamination,
lifestyle disease, all of that, genetics.
True.
But I think what you are an outstanding example. Honestly, the message is how you went for a test, how you got it done, mammogram. Adike naan ellargu what I say is, when you know that someday is your birthday coming, remember that day or close to that day before you go and get your mammogram done, a blood test done. So that you remember every year, oh, my birthday has come, I have to go day before and get it done. That is how in US we marked also. So I think this is a message I want to send to the viewers. Please hear what Hemalatha said. Please make sure each one of you, women, men, everybody should have a testing done once a year at least,
Yes.
particularly beyond age of 40,
40,
35,
yes.
40.
Yes.
We are seeing in youngsters also now. And particularly if you have family history.
Family history.
And get it done and make sure that it is done every year and competent people look at it and make sure everything is okay.
True.
Then rest of the year you can be normal.
No, it is like you want to take a vacation every year. This is also part of a routine where you go and get yourself, and it is for your own good that you're doing it. It is to save your family also a lot of agony.
Correct.
Because it goes beyond it goes into stage 3, 4.
Exactly.
Your family suffers along with
Family, cost, everything.
Everything goes
Everything
up.
goes
And the
up.
pain and the agony that everyone goes through along with you, it's not required at all.
ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಕೆಟ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್
Yes.
is far less expensive and one time you're done.
Correct.
The disease may not come back.
Yes.
ಇದನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. I think the people are not understanding this valuable advice what you are giving.
No, they
people
have
are
to.
not. ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದಾನೇ, since it is coming from you, it is so important. Maybe you can repeat it.
I will definitely repeat it. I will ask all ladies, no matter what their age, I mean beyond the 25, 30, to annually get a mammogram done in your own interest, in the interest of your family, and the interest of saving yourself a lot of suffering and cost. And trust the doctors when they tell you that at a certain stage it is curable and you don't have to go through it again. So that is
ಮೆಟಾಸ್ಟೆಟಿಕ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್, ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಡಾಸ್ಟಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ, and also cost, pain. So anyway, that is good that you have done very well. I think
Yes.
I'm sure you will have a long, very healthy life. Okay?
Doctor, I'm 76 now, so
you don't look 76 by any standards. Okay? And
thank you for saying that, but I am, and so lifespans are decided.
But today in the era of longevity, we always have health span antivi. Health span is something where people live for long with good health lifestyle.
With good health.
ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಓಡಾಡಂಗಿರಬೇಕು.
Yes.
You should be able to have time with your family, friends,
Yeah.
go out,
Very true.
party, do things and contribute to the society. See, that is, age is only a mindset.
I'm grateful to God that in spite of going through those strokes,
Yeah.
my impairment was my vision loss.
Fantastic.
Which definitely took me a
Yeah.
long time to deal with, because I had learned driving at the age of 56.
Wow.
Yes, in Bangalore traffic I had learnt it, and I used to love driving. I used to drive all over town. Unfortunately, with my vision loss, that was the one thing which.
Let us talk about your life. You have had a very colorful life. You are a lawyer.
Yes.
You are in matrimonial particularly.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your life itself and how you became a lawyer. What are the struggle as a woman you faced, about your marriage, whatever,
Yes,
and then we will go into the women's issues and right.
Doctor, I hope you have time to listen to me.
Yeah.
Well, I was born into a family. I have 3 siblings. I had late older stepbrother, then I have my own brother, then my younger sister. So we are 4. Then my father was in the army. He retired as a lieutenant colonel, and he is no more. He's late. So is my mother. She also passed away. And we mainly grew up with my mother, because dad was, those days the wars were constantly happening. But whenever he was in, it was called a peace station, where families were allowed to join the.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those days it was called peace station. That means it is far away from the border. So whenever he was posted in a peace station, we would travel to that particular place, stay with him, maybe maximum for a year or 2. And so, hence our education was varied. We studied in army schools only basically. And our first languages was, we only learnt English and Hindi.
Okay.
Because in the army circle, they would only speak English and Hindi. And the schools also taught only English and Hindi. So no local languages were learned. But much later on, when we came to Mysore and settled down with my mother was a major nurturer. She brought us up. She brought us up with all the values, everything in life. And I credit her with what I am today. Dad was hardly in the picture.
Okay.
He was there, but on vacations, holidays used to come. Invariably, he had to be called back. So we hardly used to see him. But mom was there and she brought us up. So when we came back to Mysore, she insisted that we learn. So I can speak Kannada and Tamil, both the languages. Not very good at reading and writing, but I can
Fantastic. Very nice.
My mother was very clear that we should know our languages, so we learned it. Then I studied and I did my BA. I majored in English. I was a merit scholar and I had got a free ship. I was given a seat in Manas Gangotri in Mysore. I was called and given, yes, I was doing my Master of Arts in English. Unfortunately, my dad being of the old school and me being the elder daughter, he was not very keen that I should continue with my studies. He said, at a certain age, girls have to get married and settle down, simple. Even though my professors personally spoke to him and said, no, she's doing so well. She's such an intelligent person.
See, this is what happens when you are a girl, no?
Yeah, and I was the elder one. Yeah. So, and it was a co-educational college. First time, Maharani's was girls. This was co-educational. So, he had all kinds of ridiculous thoughts. So my professors in fact insisted, let her finish and then you marry her off. But he said she can study even after marriage. How does it matter? Let her study after marriage. And he married me to Wing Commander Krishnamurthy, who was then flight lieutenant at that time. And then we were posted to Pune, to Khadakwasla, where I went immediately after marriage. Studies was not possible because Pune was more than 20 kilometers away from Khadakwasla. There was no question. So I got into a domestic life. My daughter Naina, whom you know so well, was born in Pune Command Hospital. Then he was posted to Bangalore, came to Bangalore where my second son Nikhil was born. So we were married, divorce actually took place much later. But for about 5 years we lived together. Then we were not, he was a thorough gentleman, he was a very, very nice person, excellent father. But as husband and wife, we were not compatible. So I was 25.
Compatibility was not there.
At all. It was just not. We were two totally different people. We could never think, sometimes opposite attract. But they say, but in this case it did not. It was totally, it was a ruin. And I tried my best to, nobody in this.
It was an arranged marriage.
It was an arranged marriage. And nobody in their senses with 2 children will want to break a marriage, doctor. Nobody. And I come from a traditional Brahmin family where it is totally looked in the 70s. It is looked down upon. I was 25 years at that time.
But you took the bold step.
I decided. I decided I'm suffocated in this relationship. And I told him also, I said, I don't think I make you happy. So I would like you to be happy. I do not want to destroy your happiness at any stage. Please be happy. You move on with your life. But unfortunately, he didn't see it the same way. He was also...
Later on, he moved on with his life.
Much later on. Yeah. Then we divorced in, I think, 87 or something finally. But I lived as a single mother for 10 years. He was posted out of Bangalore. He was posted to Assam, then Belgaum, then Hyderabad. Then I lived in Bangalore. I got a job in Ashok Hotel. Wow. When I worked, the general manager, Mr. Varadarajan, personally called me and gave me the job. So I started off working there in the front office. Yeah. 10 years I worked there. I worked at the front office.
You lawyer agideli. You became
lawyer agiddu. That's a little bit of a story I'll tell you if you have the patience. I started doing law when I was in Ashoka. I have a friend, Mr. Govind, senior counsel. So he kept telling me, Hemalatha, you should be a lawyer, you're wasting your time here. I said, they don't give attendance. I can't get attendance, but they won't give me leave. He said, doesn't matter, I'll get you the attendance, you enroll. So I enrolled in a college and that was in 1984. 2 months before the exam, I would take leave, unpaid leave, then I would buy the books, study. I cleared the first year. Then the second year, I had done 2 papers. This was in 84 sometime. May, my mother passed away, suddenly. Okay. Suddenly she woke up one night and I think it must have been a cardiac, she passed away. And she had wanted to see me as a lawyer very much. Because at some point she also felt that the marriage was not okay and I was unhappy. So she became a lawyer, start working. So once she passed away, I went into depression, severe depression. She was my rock, actually, who was there when my children were small, you know. And imagine, I joined Ashoka when my son was only 1 year old.
Oh,
Nikhil.
that?
Yeah, he was 1 year, Cookie was about 2.5. So they were so small, and my mom was there to make sure that I could carry on with the work. Then, so I stopped. I did 2 papers in the second year, then I didn't go back for the exams. I left it because I just didn't, I was not in a frame of mind to study and, you know, do it, and she was not there. So I just left it. Then 7 years down the line, I thought I'd made a mistake. I should have done the exam. Then I went back to the college. They said, no, you can't do it. Within 5 years, you should have taken the paper. Now you have to do it all over again from the first year. I said, no, there's no way I can do the first year papers. I left it. 16 years down the line, I met Mr. Govindaj, my friend, again. Then he again started, he said, you made a mistake, you didn't do it. I said, it's water under the bridge, Govind, let's not talk about it. Then he said, no, you can still do it, you find out, you can still do the...
Oh, wow.
He said, you can still finish the exams. I said, don't be ridiculous, they don't give a chance to the... He said, no, now they are giving. So anyway, to cut a long story short, they had introduced a system for the old batch.
Okay.
Just one opportunity to complete the course.
Course.
Because they were changing
And
the
how old
syllabus.
were you then?
I was 50.
50.
50 years. Then I had to do 4 papers of the second year and 6 papers of the final year.
Ellanu pass adri.
All, and they only one shot they had given us. If you don't pass, you can't take it again. With the syllabus were being changed. So I wrote 10 papers. My little fellow was 8 years at that time. 3 days before the exam, he got typhoid.
Oh.
So he was so ill and throwing up the whole night with fever.
So now, you know, before we go to your legal practice,
Yes, doctor.
your family life now, you have...
I'm married again. I have another son.
Yeah. So
Bhuvan.
you have 3 children.
3 children, yes.
Now, I know Naina.
You know
I know she's a...
You met Nikhil also, I think.
Nikhil also. Phenomenal lawyers.
Yes.
And you know, you really made them into star lawyers of the country.
No, they have made
Naina,
themselves.
Kayla. Ila, it is really admirable, you know, what you have done. And tell me a little bit about them and how they have become prominent lawyers of the country today. You know, Naina has a law firm of close to 200 lawyers or more. Huh?
Dr. Naina, from the time she was a child, she had a mind of her own. Totally. Nobody could change her. Once she made up her mind about something.
I can imagine that.
Oh God, she was a terror. She used to do street theatre. You know, she used to make children sit on the street in front of the house on the footpath with a stick. She would make them all into characters. I still have photos of those plays. So ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲೇನೆ ನಾನು ಅಶೋಕಿಂದ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಗ್ಯಾರಾಜಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಅಂತ ಬೆಡ್ಶೀಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹಾಕಿ ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ then I had to make sweets for all of them. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಚೇರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿ ಆ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆದು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅದು. So she was a born leader from the
leader.
Born leader. She was a born leader and a person of her own mind. ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಯಾರೂ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. So finally, then she did her law in National Law School, as you know.
Very prestigious. Both of them did.
Both of them did. Then she worked with various companies. Then she decided that she wanted to start her own law firm.
Be your own boss.
And how she started was at home. RT Nagar Lane, we were in a rented house. Ali on the room, she started with a computer. She used to do networking in the day and
No, it is
work
really,
in the night.
For a woman, it is not easy.
It's not easy at all.
To become so big and lead a
ಅವಳಿಗೆ
large
ಪಾಪ
company.
ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗೋದು ಆಟೋಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಬಸ್ಸಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋಳು ಶಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಆಲ್ ಹರ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಜ್ವರ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜ್ವರ ಇದ್ರು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಿ ವುಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಶಿ ಸೆಟ್ ಡೆಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇದೆ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸೆಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ಹರ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದೋಸ್ ಡೇಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಶಿ ರಿಯಲಿ
Remarkable breakthrough. It is a lot of
ಡೆಡಿಕೇಶನ್
I think also
ಫೋಕಸ್ ಡೆಡಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕಮಿಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಹಾಲ್ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಆಫ್ ನೈನಾ. ಅವಳು she has Nikki, of course. Nikki, brilliant, worked in Delhi 10 years for Anand and Anand. Then Naina got him over to
he works in intellectual property.
He specialized in intellectual property
your
laws.
third son is also in a lawyer.
He
family of lawyers.
He does litigation. He does litigation. He is in Mumbai. My daughter-in-law is also a lawyer. Tanaya, brilliant lawyer. She's she also practices in Bombay. So
you have got
legal eagles.
You have got a phenomenal thing. You have done really raised them well.
Now, when you look at the other side of you in terms of your law
Yes, doctor.
and matrimonial thing,
Yes,
Ivaga, we are always concerned with the society. As the society's so-called prosperity, civilization comes up, we become affluent, there are other issues.
Yes, doctor.
And you face that in terms of marital problems.
Yes.
And what do you see in India today in your own practice, and how this, what are the issues and what are the possible solutions to this?
Doctor, to start with, each case has its own merits. No one case is similar to the other. No one problem is similar to the other. So one cannot at all generalize. We are all human, so we all react differently to any situation, given situation. So in a marriage also, one has to understand that there are two different people getting together.
Yes.
So their upbringing, their way of living, their culture, their traditions, everything could be different. So compromise to a certain extent is very necessary, definitely necessary. Then again, I always tell my clients that God created man and woman. Otherwise, he would have created only man, or he would have created only women. Now we have certain, I'm not saying a woman has to be a doormat, and because women today are pilots, they have gone to the moon, they have achieved so much. Look at my daughter herself. I mean,
absolutely.
She's such an achiever. But having said that, Naina is also very domesticated. She's very particular about how she runs her home, everything. So I think because the genes are there in a woman to do that. The basic genes are there. That's how
But today in the society, do you feel both men and women are not taking responsibility, or is it the incompatibility is increasing as we become more affluent? Our demands are more, compromise is less. Is that a true statement?
Yes, doctor. Because now what has happened is women have also started working. Sometimes a woman is earning more than a man. So then the ego clashes come in. Yeah. There is intolerance, total intolerance. So you are trying to throw your achievements on the others first, which is so unnecessary. See, you have to understand that you're together to run a home compatibly. Yeah. But when you bring in your personal pride and ego into a relationship, I think that's where the downfall starts.
And also in the times when the woman is not working, we used to call them, she's a housewife. We used to call all terminologies. Economically, she was considered weaker. And mother-in-law, father-in-law issue was there, living together. So always, families we used to say as we were growing up, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅವರು ರತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಸೊಸೆಗೆ ಇದು these were all, and then when the ಸೊಸೆ becomes ಅತ್ತೆ, she would give the same thing to her. Yeah. So it was a tradition. ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಇದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. My own cousin, even now her mother-in-law is living in ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಬ್ಳಿ ಧಾರವಾಡನಲ್ಲಿ. Still, she cannot have independence, even though she is in her late 60s. The mother-in-law watches her. She has to abide by. Itara ಏನು ಬಹಳ stringent ಇತ್ತು. Now you feel, particularly educated or liberated women a little bit.
Evolved.
So are they exercising that liberation to say, okay, hey, if I do some homework, you have to do some homework. If I do take care of the babies, you have to do cooking, or vice versa. So there is equal distribution. ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Is it possible that
Doctor, as I said, it varies from home to home.
Okay.
It's not the same. I cannot generalize on that because individual couples have their own methods of applying to their domestic situation. So, yes, having said that, women do expect men to be more, to participate more in the household affairs. And trust me, doctor, having said that, being a housewife is the most difficult job.
Alva? Absolutely.
It is easy to go out and work and earn money. Here you are an unpaid person.
Correct.
And you are dependent on your husband for every single penny.
Correct.
Sometimes husband understands.
Makes a huge difference.
It is the most difficult job to run a house properly, which is what was done in the olden days. It was understood that the man is the earning person and the woman is at home looking after the children, running the house, and there was peace and quiet. ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾಗೋಗಿದೆ ಫ್ರಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿಮೆನ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್. ಆವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಲೈಕ್ ಮೈ ಮದರ್ ಪಾಪ ಅವರಾಗೆ ಅವರೇ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಭಾಷಾ ಓದಿ ಹಿಂದಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲಿತರು, ಬಟ್ ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ಹೈಲಿ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್. ಈಗ ಲೇಡೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್, ಸೊ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾನ್ ಅಪ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಲಿ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ when they marry into a family, they feel that my education, my qualification, my status, my income, my work also has to be respected, which should be. But don't make a priority of that and say that if you don't do that. There are certain ways of going about it by
ಇವಾಗ in the Indian legal system, ಇವಾಗ how even if one of the spouse is not working, say the woman is not working, do they have equal rights to the finances what the other spouse earns?
Under the
Is there has to be a joint bank account? Ivella mandate agidyo
illa. See, under the Hindu Marriage Act, a wife is entitled to be nurtured, looked after, maintenance. She has to be provided with the roof.
ಅದನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಇದರಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಮದುವೆ ಆದ ವೇದಾಸು ಇದರಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, you have to look after your wife, you have to look after.
But this is mandatory. What is mandatory is she has to have a roof over her head, whether it's rented or owned, doesn't matter. She has to be fed, she has to be clothed, she has to be, medical expenses have to be taken care of.
Suppose she wants to go shopping and buy things independently, she can't go and buy.
She can, why not?
But ಅವ್ರು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ.
The husband has to provide for that.
What if he doesn't give? ಅವನ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. She has no right to write a check or use her visa card or
that may create problems.
ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Definitely, that will definitely.
ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ one of my friends in US, this happened. ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ದ ವೈಫ್ ವಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ವೈಲ್, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಶಿ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ಡ್. ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡು ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೈಫೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು, ಮಕ್ಕಳು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಶಿ ಸೆಡ್ ಫೈನಲಿ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ. ನಾನು ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಅಂತ. ದೆನ್ ದ ಲಾಯರ್ ಸಜೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಯು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಡೂ ಎ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ವಾಸ್ ವರ್ತ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ $5 million ಟುಗೆದರ್. ಇವರು ಅರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅದನ್ನು ಇಬ್ಬರು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರು. ಸೊ ದ ವೈಫ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಗಾಟ್ $2.5 million. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ದೇ ಆರ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, and ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್.
They have their own independent income.
That has solved their issues. It's a very good case study how economics plays an important.
Economics, yeah, definitely plays.
ನಾವು agree ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, but actually it plays an important role.
Yes. See, when
money is very powerful.
It leads to a lot of frustration, lot of how shall I say, antagonism and fights and arguments. It definitely, because if the wife is not getting enough sufficient to run the house or maintain the children or something, natural frustration sets in. And especially if she is educated and unable to work and earn for herself, that leads to further
ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ what are the common causes of it's all educated people, middle class, I would take it, most of them ಅಲ್ವಾ ಬರೋರು?
ಎಲ್ಲ ಥರನೂ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ.
ಇವನ್ ಪೂರ
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಥರ. ಇವ್ರು ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಹೆಂಗಸ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಐ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಕೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತಿದ್ರೆ ಅವಳು ಲಾಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಹೆಂಗಸು. ಸುಮ್ಮನಿರಪ್ಪ ನೀನು, ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಏನು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ಅವನು 6 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ನನಗೆ $500 $1,000 ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಅವನು ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕೆ 6 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ಕೊಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವನು ಒಂದು ಒಳಗಾಕಿ. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಹರ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅವೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದೇರ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಆಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್.
ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಕಾಮನ್ ಕಾಸಸ್ ಯು ಸಿ? ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಸೇ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಮೇ ನಾಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
If they're too prejudiced, if they're too stubborn, if they're too obstinate, lot of cases they have. Ivaga, the latest case which I did, I mean, he came to me for second time for the divorce. First divorce in Anumadida, second time banda, but in this case they compromise. They're living together. They withdraw the.
What is the role of counselors?
Counselors' role is very important. Now, court counselors appointed mediators irtare. That is mandatory for every divorce proceeding, it's mandatory. But that is court appointed. But I feel that even before going to court, if the couple can think sensibly, if they feel, if their instinct says that maybe we can resolve this at a level where without going to court. There are several marriage counselors. They can go to them, or they can talk to their own lawyers, like my clients talk to me.
You are a
talk to-
counselor also?
Yes, we are counselors.
Okay.
We, as a matrimonial lawyer, you end up being a counselor
Oh,
also.
okay, okay.
You counsel the
So
children.
you don't have any counselors in your law firm? You lawyers?
We do the counsel. I do the counseling, absolutely. Even including children, because there are a lot of custody battles. They fight for the children. They say joint custody ಬೇಡ ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕು.
ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಸ್ಟಡಿ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಯೂಶಲಿ?
ಯೂಶಲಿ ಮಗು 5-6 ವರ್ಷ ಇದ್ದರೆ ದೇ ಗಿವ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ದ ಮದರ್.
ಓಕೆ.
ಬಟ್ ದೆನ್ ದೇ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ದ ಜಡ್ಜಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್. ಇವಾಗ ವೇರ್ ದ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್ ಕೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಮನೇಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೆಂಗಸರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ತಂದೆ
ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಾ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್?
ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ದಿ ಟೇಕ್.
ಬಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ ಹೂ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್.
ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ವರ್ಕರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಇಫ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಟು ಸೇ ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ದಿಸ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಸಿನಾರಿಯೋ.
ಇವಾಗ ಕುಡಿಯೋದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಇದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಅವರು?
ಅಂಡ್ ಇವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದೇ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ದ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್. ಇಫ್ ದ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ಏಜ್, ದೇ ಕಾಲ್ ದ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಬರ್ಸ್, ಜಡ್ಜಸ್ ಚೇಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಕರೆದು ದೇ ಆಸ್ಕ್, ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲಾಯರ್ಸ್, ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಮಗುನ ಮಾತಾಡಿಸಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನಪ್ಪ ನಿಂಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಅಂತ, ಅಪ್ಪ ಹೊಡಿತಾರ, ಅಮ್ಮ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಜನರಲಿ ಆಸ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ಸೆಡ್, ಈಚ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್.
ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ವಿಚ್ ಏಜ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್? 14 or 18? Because in abroad and all it's 14, 15, yeah, they can
18 ಆದಮೇಲೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್
choose,
make their own decisions, where they want to live, how they want to live, whether they want to live with the parent at all or not. They can make their own decisions. So children also, you know, in this environment, there's no hard and fast rule.
So you think through counseling some of the marriages could be preserved?
Can be solved. Yes, can be.
What percentage can be preserved in prakara?
Difficult to say, doctor.
Maybe
I think
50%?
a very small percent. No, not 50%. A small percent. I would say about 25-30%. Maybe, yeah. Because ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, when they have the mindset, ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ತುಂಬ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರೆಜುಡಿಸ್.
ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲರ್ ಹೋಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಲಾಯರ್ಸ್ ಯು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲರ್ಸ್.
ಅಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಂಡೇಟರಿ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಕೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ. ದೇ ಅಪ್ಲೈ, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟರ್ಸ್ who call the couple and they sit and
but
talk.
it is a problem which is increasing in a country like
Definitely
India. Like US and all, it has been there. Actually in US and all, it has come down. 1 in 5, 50% used to divorce. Now it is 40-35%.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ.
ನೀವು if you come to the family court ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಜಾಗ ಇರಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದಾ?
Crowded.
Amazing.
It is increasing by.
And is there a lot of waiting time to get this done? You suppose somebody files for divorce, how long does it take?
Contested divorce ಆದರೆ it takes very long, because you see family court
one
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
person is not agreeing.
ಇಲ್ಲ, I'll tell you how. Family court ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್, where it is decided, order is passed. Now if the order is in my favor, I'm happy, but the other person can go and appeal to the High Court against that order, you see, and further on to the Supreme Court. So it could take years and years and years.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, appealable orders, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ lower
So
court.
that means one person is not giving consent.
That is contested divorce. Whereas in a mutual consent, it's over. At the family court level, it's over, because it's mutual. What does it mean, mutual consent? Both of us, we have agreed, we are coming to the court, we are not happy in this marriage, is incompatible. Allegations ಎಲ್ಲ
That
ಏನು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
means lifelong in the contested, you remain married technically. For years and years.
Sometimes ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, if the couple
that looks like a draconian
totally
measure.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಈ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, even in a contested divorce with mediation, they could convert it into a mutual consent. They could advise the couple. That's what we do. When they come for a contested, we say, are you prepared to see next 10-15 years, are you willing to?
No, because I know one friend of friend. He is a doctor. His wife was also a doctor. He decided to leave ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ, incompatible. She didn't agree. 40 years ಆದ್ಮೇಲೂ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. And he was living with somebody and all, but 40 years ಆದ್ಮೇಲೂ official divorce ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. I mean, recent ಆಗಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಯಾರೋ ಅಂದ್ರು. So is that a possibility, something like that?
Yes, you can look.
So Indian laws are not like Western laws there.
It didn't know that.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ವೆದರ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ದ ಕಂಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಅ ವುಮೆನ್ ಸೇಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್, whether you agree or not, they give a divorce degree. The judge
they give it.
Yeah.
I am not.
Immediate ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ.
And they cannot appeal against those orders.
No, they can't appeal.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ
appeal ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು the divorce is done.
It is.
Only appeal is in terms of property they appeal.
Property and ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. 50-50.
ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಇದು ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆರ್ ಮೈ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಕಂಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Custody.
Not on the divorce.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ unfortunately.
Are you doing anything to change this law? It looks very draconian.
No, as of now I don't see any new law which has been introduced to spare this
amazing,
kind of
amazing. Ivaga, what about the issue of I work in a rural area. Now Karnataka particularly, the data is very dismal. They say 40, particularly rural, urban nallu irbodu, 40% are battered women, and they are abused by their spouses. And of course drinking and of course sexually
philandering,
and all of this is brings a concern, the women's rights issue. They of course they have to go through, and the police sometimes don't help, even they refuse to register their complaint. And there are NGOs, there are other organizations, but you have to find them where they are helpful. Is it not very difficult for a woman when these situations happen, particularly in the lower socio-economic group?
Doctor, ಅದೇ ಇವಾಗ ಲೋವರ್ ಸೋಷಿಯೋ-ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾ ಆಫ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್. ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆಯವ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ದಿ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ ದಟ್ ಮದುವೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಹೊಡಿತಾನೆ, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಹೊಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಈವನ್ ಇಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಡ್ರಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್. Lot of women tolerate it. They say, okay, this is part of marriage. This is how I have to bear it and grin and bear it. But now even there they are getting involved because of the education being given by the NGOs, by the women's rights workers. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. I think they ಮನೆಗೂ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅವರು. They educate them, they advise them. Some of them take it, some of them don't.
ಇವಾಗ one of the things I noticed recently, ನನಗೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಇದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಗುಂಡಲ್ಪೇಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಟಾಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, we have about 10,000 women. ಅಲ್ಲಿ we encourage women to come and talk. This lady came and said, we have given her job opportunity, she is into earning on her own now. So she said, sir, ನಾನು ಅರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ನನ್ನ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. Now I am earning, now I am ready to beat him. So I think it's also economics.
Economic, yeah. She's dependent on him. ಆಚೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ನೋಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ? Nobody is going to.
And their whoever is their parents and all care ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಗಂಡನ ಮನೆಗೂ ಅವರು ಬಡವ್ರೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋತಾರೆ? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಊರಿನವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್. I think it will take a while before they are eradicated and women come into their own and understand that being beaten is not.
I think to me education and economic empowerment. See, what I did was microcredit. It was a remarkable experience. Microcredit only for women. We did. ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ men would come and hover around. ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. So we used to say you have to get lost in a bit. So now they have become, they go to the bank, they have their own accounts. They save, they do trade, they do saree shops, they make grocery products and they're tailoring. Now they have become independent. They are respected a lot.
ಹೌದು.
ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ we have returned.
ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಡ್ ಸರ್ವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ, they have their own bank account, independent of their husbands. So they are very particular that ಅಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡಿ ನೀವು, ಇದು ಮನೆಗೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋದರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕಿತ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. So they are also now understanding that their income is their income.
The skill training, doing women focus, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶ, ಅದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, historically we always talk ವುಮೆನ್ ಪವರ್, ಮಾತೃವೇ ದೇವರು ಅಂತೀವಿ, ತಾಯಿ ದೇವರು ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಅರ್ಥನ ದೇವರು ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅರ್ಧನಾರೀಶ್ವರಿ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಆದರೆ ಇವಾಗ್ಲೂ ವುಮೆನ್ಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಈವನ್ ಟುಡೇ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಆರ್ 50%. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ನೇ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಝೀರೋ. ಹೌ ಆರ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಕೀಪಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವಯಟ್? ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್ ನೋ, ವೈ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಬೈ ವುಮೆನ್? hey, I want equal opportunity. I want equal seats in the parliament, assembly. I want that ministerial berthನಲ್ಲಿ 50 ಜನ ಇದೆ, 20 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ವುಮೆನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, 25 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ? ಒಬ್ರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. Why? And then they go and vote for the same people. ನಾನು ಮೊನ್ನೆ ವುಮೆನ್ ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದಾಗ 3 ದಿನದಿಂದ ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರು. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರ್, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಓಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಜಾತಿಯವರವರು. See, this kind of acceptance, why is it more in women?
That spirit is not there.
Why? What can we do to change it? Some fire in the belly we need.
Fire in the belly is required, definitely. But ಅದೇನು ಇದು ಒಂಥರ mob mentality.
Look at you, amazing how you have come out of everything and fought. You should be an outstanding example for what women can do.
Doctor, ಇದು ಒಂಥರ mob mentality. ಇವಾಗ you who will bell the cat ಅಂತ. ಒಬ್ರು ಹೋದ್ರೆ then they will follow. But when they are not, nobody is taking the lead, nobody is...
The very mob mentality is so true. I recently came across something, I'm writing an article called You are trained not to think.
ಹೌದು
Alva?
ಹೌದು.
A woman, we can say, in the socio-economic,
Limited,
is trained not to think. Hey, ನಿನಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೋ. ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ನಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳೇನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನೀನು ಕೂತ್ಕೋ, ನಿನಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೇಳೋದು ಕೇಳು. See, from childhood they are brought, ನೀನು ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ. Whereas a boy can go. They are made to think they are lower than the boys. Even the parent, I know very well, when the boy is born, wow. Whereas a girl is born, hudgina. My daughter who is a doctor says, she delivered lot of children in this Yalanka. You should see the faces of the mother and father when the girl is born. Disappointment.
ಹೌದು.
See, this kind of social change has not happened fully in our country.
ಇನ್ನೂ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. That emancipation has not yet come about. That mindset has not yet changed. And you know what? It is more, I think, in the middle class than the lower class and the upper class.
Correct.
Middle class ನವರು ಅವರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ನ್ಯಾರೋ ಮೈಂಡ್ಸೆಟ್ಟು I don't think it is prevalent among...
Very important point. Why do you think that is?
I think they don't know where they belong, I suppose. It is... they feel that, now ನಮ್ಮ status ಹಿಂಗಿದ್ದಾಗ, it's better we have sons who can, improve our family status or prestige, whereas a girl gets
hereditary
married. ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಮದುವೆ ಅಂತ ನಂದು ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ. I don't know whether I'm correct in saying this, but somehow I feel that when I see the middle class kind of families and their thinking, this is what I gather. I may be wrong, I may not be completely right, but
even in the rural women, ನಾನು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, ಯಾಕ್ರಿ ನೀವು, why don't you focus on health? Women health is so bad. And anemia, ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ 2 years ago. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ, one of the common answers is, I work 18 hours. I take food to my husband, they work more than the men in the farm. And then they told me amazing thing, they go back home and they eat what is left over. First, husband, children eat. What is left over they eat. And they were most of them in our data were anemic. So ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, and we, of course, the government, instead of giving them skilled training and all, ಓಟ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಗೃಹಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು 2,000 ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡೋದು. See, what is 2,000? It ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರು ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಲಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. And they will also prevent them from being taking on responsibility in work. So ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋದು,
ಫ್ರೀ ರೈಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಏನೋ ಅಂದರೆ they have eternally they have made them
dependent bonded labors. This kind of the ಅದು ಭಿಕ್ಷೆ ಎಸ್ತಂಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
ಅದನ್ನ ಗ್ಲೋರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಓಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು. See, this has to stop also. That is what we are working in the good.
That has to stop, doctor. It's a worm in the society which is eating up any good progress that is possible also. Adana it is hampering.
So today we have really talked a lot about the amazing, Hemalatha.
You wanted to know how children are brought up also.
I think it will be good to hear.
There, what I wanted to say was, parenting is a gut instinct. There are no hard and fast rules. You do not prescribe academic, how shall I say, standards to it and say that follow these academic rules to bring up your children. It's all okay in an educated society, but how do you apply it in a villages where the women are bringing up their children as per the conditions in their home, whether social, economic, whatever. So Nangansati, even among divorced couples, I tell them that the last thing you should fight about is the child, because that's where you are going to.
Correct.
My children had all the freedom in the world.
Obviously.
They never had
Look
any.
what happened to them, how they came up.
They never had any restrictions. They were free to do. I said, I'll have your back all the time, but you make your mistakes, you fall, you make mistakes, you learn, you grow up, which is how they did. They lived absolutely freely without, I hope they agree with me when I say this.
Of course they will agree.
They listen to this. But that's what I tell that parents, that there are no hard and fast rules. There's no academic prescriptions to bring up children. You have to follow and a parent has a gut instinct, They know how children have to be brought up and how to nurture them. So, but leave them free. Tumba restrictions in today's world, it is dangerous. They will not abide by it. And
also allow them to ask questions. Why? What?
Yes. Yeah. Sit and talk to them.
I have a 3-year-old granddaughter.
So sweet.
ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಇದೆ. All she could ask was everything why. ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಂಗಿದೆ. That should be nurtured. Why? What happens as they grow is we start telling ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನಿಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
Impatience.
We kind of put them down. I think that is a problem of
answer ಮಾಡೋ ತಾಳ್ಮೆನೇ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
Even teachers, elders, ನಾನು ದೊಡ್ಡವರು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನನಗೆ ಹಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಬೇಡ. These kind of things culturally makes particularly a girl think they are kind of little bit lower, inferior. I think this has to be broken through mass education, schools, ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ. Anyway, it is wonderful what you have done. And I want to hear some final words from you. What will be, as a independent woman, how you have achieved so many things and wonderful children. What is the message you would like to send to women of the, recently we had World Women Day and all. What is the message?
Doctor, I just want to tell them out there that, follow your gut instinct, do the right thing, and have total confidence in yourself. Have faith in yourself, because a woman is called Shakti. Yeah. So bring that Shakti out and use it in a very constructive way to better your life and the life of people around you. And do not allow anything to defeat you. I know there are going to be obstacles in life. Like I said, when I went through my strokes and my vision loss, for a long time I thought it was the end of me. But then I brought myself out of it. I started working again. I started meeting clients. I started going back to my profession. And then cancer struck, and again I have come out of it.
But important, they have to take care of their health.
Yes, they have to take care of their health. And at the same time, if the health also gets a beating, you have to come out of it. Positively, constructively, if you think you will come out of it, there's nothing that you can't come out of. And the most important is have faith in yourself. Trust yourself. Know that you know what is good for you, and accordingly you do it. And don't try to please anyone. Do what's the right thing. If somebody doesn't like it, too bad. Somebody like it.
Very important message.
Yes. I do not believe, now I've learnt, I have put all the toxic people out of my life. Yes, who were toxic around me, I have put them out of my life. I do not want them, because they cloud my atmosphere. Let them be where they are happy. I will be where I am happy. And I tell, and trying to please everyone is the worst thing you can do. Because nobody is happy with what you do.
See, in life we try to please everyone except ourselves sometimes.
Precisely.
Alva? We have to think what is right.
Yes, do what makes you happy, and automatically you will give happiness to others. Because if you are happy and you're okay, then that transcends to the other people also. But if somebody is unhappy, too bad.
I think that is a very important message.
Yes.
So with that, I think we will conclude, and thank you very much, Hemalatha.
Thank you, Doctor. It's such an honor.
Wonderful message from you. We all learn from this, honestly.
Well,
whatever it is, life is a learning process. And we learn so many from this kind of
experiences.
Talks and
I have just
and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Doctor, and I appreciate you calling me, and it was such an honor.
It's my pleasure.
More than anything, the fact that I'm talking to you, who have brought me out of this situation, to me is such a
It's very, very
heartening
important
thing.
for us to have somebody and learn from you. Okay? Thank you.
And if I can be of any service at
course.
any time, please feel free to call
Of course,
upon. It'll
we
be
will.
my pleasure.
We will.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.